We've had Desert Shadow at Flora and Fauna for a while now, and you love it. But we do get a lot of questions about it. So we thought that we'd create a video, and we've got a blog as well, which answers the questions we get asked most of the time. So who are Desert Shadow, first of all? So Desert Shadow is an Australian brand. They're from WA, and they make beautiful hair dyes. They are all natural, they are vegan, they are cruelty free. They're one of the most natural things I've ever come across, and they work really, really well. So Sherelle and Thomas, who are behind Desert Shadow, are two of the most beautiful people you could meet. And Sherelle's an expert in henna, and her henna inspired skills, I guess, have inspired her to create this brand. So that's who Desert Shadow are. Now, their hair colours come in 11 different colours, from things such as Sun Shadow, which is a blonde, to this is Copper Shadow. We have Walnut, which is the one I use. There is Chestnut, there is Red Shadow, there's all sorts. So check out all the colours online. They also make soaps, shampoo, conditioner, and also hair treatments too. So in terms of the hair colours, how do you use them? Now, they do require a little bit of work. So if you are into fuss-free hair dyes, this may not be for you. However, if you're prepared to give this a go, I guarantee you that the results will be really, really great. I was amazed when I tried it, and I insist on trying all the products that we bring into Flora and Fauna, and was so gobsmacked that yeah, I literally called Sherelle up the next week and said, please, can we stock these? So what you will receive in your box is, you receive a box like that, and you'll have a couple of sachets, and there's also a spice sachet as well. Now, what you need to do with this is step number 1, and what you do, and I suggested this the night before, is mix this with a bit of lemon juice, get it to a nice consistency, cover it, leave it overnight. That's all you do. So it takes 5 minutes. It really doesn't take very long at all. Leave that overnight. 6 to 12 hours is ideal. The next day when you come back to it, you should have a brown crust that's formed over the top of it. Got the cockatoos going on. You cannot count on nature. So you should have a brown crust formed on top. Just scrape that crust off. If you have, good, that's brilliant. What you then do is add a little bit of herbal tea or warm water to it, and mix it to create a beautiful consistency and a smooth consistency. And then you have step 1 done. Immediately before you're going to apply it, you take step 2. And with this one, you add a little bit of salt, and then you add some warm water and get it to a smooth consistency. Once you've got both of those, you add the 2 bowls together. It's pretty easy, really. Then once you've got the 2 bowls together, you then apply it to your hair. Now you get a pair of gloves in here as well, so you get some nice gloves too. Apply that to your, you also need to mix the spice sachet in too before you apply it. So mix the spice sachet in. You apply that to your hair and do it in thick chunks, and then leave it on for a good 2 to 4 hours. I recommend leaving it on as long as you can possibly bear it. Quite frankly, I could leave it on for hours, because I just put it on, stick a shower cap over the top, and that's it. I'm done for the night. So what you then do, literally go into the shower and wash it off. I find it washes off really easily, so it doesn't take a great deal of effort at all, and I haven't really had anyone else say that it does. So that's all you do, and then you'll have beautiful nourished hair. The one thing that I was very, very surprised about is how nourished your hair feels. It feels soft and shiny, smooth. It really is quite beautiful, and you don't have the that very sort of chemically treated smell that you can get with hair dye either. So that's how you use it. Some of the questions we get asked: how long will it stay in for? Is it semi-permanent, permanent? It's a semi-permanent dye, and it lasts around 6 weeks. Mine lasted around 3 months. But what Desert Shadow recommend is you redo your hair every 4 to 6 weeks. So that's how long it lasts. Does it cover grey? Absolutely. So if you have 50% or less grey hair, then just use the colour, that's all you need. If you have a lot of grey hair, use one of the red bases first. So we have this red shadow here, or we have a deep red. So use that first, dye your hair red, then put the dark colour over the top. That means that you'll actually get a really great grey coverage if you have a lot of grey. Do your products contain henna? Yes and no. So the majority of them do, but it varies. So as an example, the sun shadow contains a tiny amount of henna and largely botanicals. So what the products contain is a mixture of henna and botanicals. So that contains a tiny amount of henna and largely botanicals, whereas the reds contain a lot of henna and the browns contain a mix. If you're worried about getting that really red look of henna, I wouldn't be, unless you decide you want to use the red. I use walnut, and I would say that my hair, which had naturally blonde highlights in it, took on a warmer tone, but it certainly didn't look red, and it looked absolutely beautiful actually. So it will warm your hair up. If you want to make sure you don't get it, then maybe go for a chocolate colour, which will have less of a red tone. The indigo is the blue-black, and that doesn't contain it. Is there black henna or PPD? Absolutely not. So PPD is a very dangerous form of henna which can cause all sorts of issues. These products do not contain it, and I can't stress that enough. There is absolutely no PPD in here, and please, if you're using any form of henna, look out for that. And yes, it's also known as black henna as well, but it's not in here. Those are probably about the main ones we get asked, but if there's any other questions, please do ask them. We're going to make a blog on this as well, which we'll put the link in at the bottom of this video, and we'll keep that updated with all the questions that you're asking about Desert Shadow.